Alright, you guys, what's going on? This is Jay East. You know who I am. If you don't, then you should. Jay East from the Jay East Podcast, giving you guys another one of these great and amazing interviews. I have a very special person here, special human being. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I would tell you who he is, but I think it's going to be better if you tell everyone who you are. But when you tell them who you are, I don't want you to just tell them your name. I don't want you to just sound like, your life stats. More so what I want you to do is I also want you to share who you are as a person, who you are as a life force, and what makes you, you. And you can also tell them your name too.
Okay. Well, everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Miguel, and I am just a being that's all about growth. I've had different experiences in my life where it has shaped me to be where I'm at. So I have three kids that are great mentors of mine, definitely. They're all unique in their own ways. They all test me in their own ways. And I'm just humbled to be here, to be in the presence and on the show of the Jay East Podcast.
So that's great. That's amazing. This is perfect because I like the fact that not only did you share who you were, but you also kind of gave us a little bit of insight on your family, on what makes you, you, on growth. You know me, I'm all about growth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm huge on growth.
Yeah.
The fact that we're outside right now in the middle of February, which is really like the coldest month for New Jersey, and we're doing this is just growth in itself. We started off with amazing breath work, a really quick breath work to start off the episode. That wasn't on camera, but if you guys do want to see Mike and see what he does with his breath work, I encourage you to check out his Instagram. I'm probably going to put the tag somewhere there on the screen so you could go check him out. But we started off with that, and I'm glad we did, because I consider breath work a form of mindfulness. And everyone that I've spoken to so far, at least everyone that's successful, everyone that I've read about, everyone that I've listened to, when they're wildly successful at what they do, it always comes back to some form of mindfulness that they do. Whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, it's always something there. So my question for you is, even though I know you, and I kind of know a little bit about you, I want to know, what forms of mindfulness do you participate in, and how frequently? Meaning, like, are there things that you do every hour? Are there things that you do at the halfway point of every day? Are there things that you do every day? And et cetera, so forth.
Yeah, so basically, it starts off with my morning.
Okay.
So I wake up, and it's a form of gratitude.
Okay.
As soon as I wake up, it's going to bed as well. But we'll talk about my morning routine. So I wake up with gratitude and just say, thank you, God. Thank you for another day. Thank you for another breath. And then I set myself up on my bed, or wherever I'm at, in the lotus position, and basically just start doing my breath work. Breath work helps me become mindful to stay in that moment where I'm at.
Okay.
That's a form of my gratitude and form of me knowing that I love myself. That I'm taking the time to really set into who I really am, to set my day. So it's breath work, then meditation, because it just helps me ground.
Yeah.
It just sets me right into my meditation, so which I sit about maybe 15 to 45 minutes, depending on what I have planned for that day.
Okay, so like if you have like a little bit more of an open schedule, you do like a 45?
Yeah, 45 to an hour.
Okay.
So that's one. And then if I have time in the middle of my day, depending on how I'm feeling, I'll take that time out too. Maybe about 10 minutes to do some breath work.
Okay.
That just bring me right back in, because there's a lot of times where my day gets shifted and it just kind of like throws me off, like, damn. Like, now I'm worried about time.
Yeah.
Like, shoot. And I started becoming like aware, like I'm like fuck, okay, all right. But then I realized, all right, this is a moment for me to really take 5 minutes to just fully breathe in and then just let it out. right? So I just tap right into that, and that keeps me mindful and really aware of like, holy shit, I was kind of like letting myself
get out there.
Yeah,
it's like really, kind of reel yourself back in.
Like, holy shit, we gotta like come right back.
Yeah.
Right? So I'll do that in the middle of my day, but always at night, what has helped me fucking get amazing dreams was doing my breath work and meditation right before bed. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I started incorporating not only, so I do also cold showers in the morning to really wake me up. It used to be coffee, but now it's cold showers.
See?
And I'm so used to it.
And it's funny because I remember you before with your MCT oil.
Oh yeah.
And
my ghee at work.
Your ghee at work and your coffee, and it's like, I'm gonna make this coffee. And I'm like,
did I bring my own blender? No.
No, you didn't bring your own blender.
There was two blenders.
There were two blenders there, and then when you left, then that blender became like my protein blender. So then it was like at my workstation, everything just, but it still smelled like your MCT oil. I was like, oh, yeah, it was weird, but that's funny because I think I'm kind of the same way. I don't need coffee to kind of get going. I just feed off of the vibe. I feed off of the energy that's around me. I usually do my meditation when I'm in the bus.
Okay.
And I do it for actually like 3 reasons. The first reason is I get like a good 10 to 15 minutes where I'm uninterrupted. Like I'm not planning on doing anything else other than sitting in this bus in this moment. So, after I text Jen and after I let her know like I'm on the bus and we text back and forth for a little bit, I'll say, hey, I'm going to do my meditation right now. She'll go do hers about the same time at home.
Sweet.
And then I'll spend like that 10, 15 minutes on the bus and I'll do my meditation. The second reason is because, and I realize this, it helps a lot when you're in a moving vehicle in New Jersey that has a lot of traffic on the way to New York because of the constant jerking and all those things. But when I'm focused on my breath, I can't even really feel that. So I don't get the nauseous feeling or anything like that.
And the concept of time just fucking goes by.
Yeah. Like
there.
Time just kind of goes by. You don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And then the third reason was I realized that the days when I'm actually doing my meditation on the bus, it kind of helps focus me for the next 3 to 4 hours. And I'll tell you why I say 3 to 4 hours. Because I usually will do a meditation again a couple hours later in the day, either right before I'm going to eat or right after I eat. Because it's like, okay, cool, like this is a moment where let me take a couple minutes, settle my stomach, kind of prepare, and then that will get me through for like the next couple hours again. And then when I get on the bus to go home, I get another 10 to 15 minutes in of this minute. So it's like I take these moments that I've like kind of carved out of my day to appreciate and be
gratitude. Man.
Like that's really what it all comes down to. It comes down to being grateful and thankful.
When I hear you.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to being grateful and thankful. Like there's so many things that happen throughout the day that I always like to tell people like, your day's never going to go exactly as planned. Sometimes it will, but most of the time it won't. Something's going to happen that isn't what you planned it to be. It's not going to be what should have happened. And you have a choice when that happens. Your choice is you can either dwell on that and let that completely throw you off course for the rest of your day, or, and that's the easy thing. And,
exactly.
And usually,
we're all comfortable with.
Yes, the easy thing, the comfortable thing is not what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you could do the difficult thing, which is address it, deal with it, acknowledge it, let the moment go by, and continue on, and just don't let that throw you off. So it kind of helps, and again, like I said, most successful people, at least the wildly successful people, whatever it is that they do, whether it's Fortune 500, they make money, they run a podcast, they're a creator, they're a photographer, whatever it is, mediator, whatever it is, there's always some form of mindfulness, whether it's praying or meditation or breath work or just taking a second to journal, because I think journaling is a form of mindfulness too.
That's what I do. That's
so
I forgot to mention. It's in the morning. That's my morning and my night routine.
I journal, and I know you do. That's why I didn't. That's why I was like, I want to hear. I want to hear what he's gonna say. It's like his form of mindfulness every day. Because the one that you mentioned is the pillar, and then the other ones are what also comes off of that to build the foundation.
Of course.
So journaling is another one of your foundations.
Yeah.
You know, your breath work is another one of the foundations, but your meditation is like that pillar that you use to help everything stay stable.
Yeah.
You know? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned the cold showers.
Yeah.
Because of course, you know we're gonna bring that up. We're gonna mention that. So if you guys have not seen, this guy throws himself in a freezer. You like that, right? Throws himself in an ice chest, and
not necessarily.
Well, yeah, you don't throw yourself, but he is very big on cold therapy, and I kind of want you to speak on that because a couple reasons. One, I'm not that fond of the cold shower. I'm really not. Especially being that for whatever reason, like my unit has really, really cold water.
Yeah.
And
damn, I would love that.
You would. I don't. So.
Is it all year round, by the way? Is it like cold all year round? Because
it's cold
in my house,
all year
I have to wait till fall time for that water to be really cold.
No.
So
cold
like,
all year round. All year round, it's super cold and it's super hot.
Yeah.
Burn your skin off hot. Yeah.
That's actually
scalding.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with cold showers. They're not comfortable with being out in the cold. I know a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with this right now because it's a little cold.
Being in this too.
Yeah, it's a little cold. Yeah. But again, it's something that you have to kind of, get your mind around.
Oh yeah.
So how did you get your mind around it the very first couple of times that you did it, and then when you're doing it now, where you're actually doing it more regularly now, how did you get yourself past that hump?
Oh man, jeez, it was a challenge, dude. It was a challenge. I started off with 5 seconds of just cold shower.
Okay.
Right? Just a 5-second one go in. I'm like, no. And then it would have been like maybe once. Twice out of like a month or so. Okay. Right? But it was always a fear. Like, all right, I'm gonna go in, but just whatever. I didn't know the benefits of it, so I saw it. I'm like, all right, let me do it. Up until I started learning a lot about Wim Hof, about the cold, challenging the mind. I'm like, all right, let me see if I can really do this. Yeah. I went to 10 seconds the first week. Then I went to 30 seconds the second week, right? And I got used to it. So used to it to the point where I'm at now that I can't take a hot shower. It's automatically, I'm going in, cold shower's already on. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in. Boom. I do my breath work right there. And just step right in. Breathing, controlled, then it slows down, and I'm just going right at it. Right? So that's where I started. And then I met these crazy motherfuckers that are just awesome. That are all about the cold plunges.
I've seen them on your stories.
Where
I follow them too.
Yeah. We went down to Skillman, New Jersey, and went into the lake. And that's where my fear. I'm like, okay, I do cold showers every day, but this is something totally different.
Oh yeah, it's different.
So, as we're doing breath work before going in, I said I was ready, okay? Like, okay, I'm familiar with this. But as we get into the water, and my feet are already in there, submerged, then my whole body's in there, we're all in, my mind is fucking... And good thing I prepared myself. My mind is telling me, get out. Yeah. You're gonna pass out. You go into hypothermia, right?
Hypothermia, yeah.
You don't feel it's like my mind's like, you don't feel the biting? You don't feel it?
Your mind's like, what are we doing?
Get out.
Abort!
Yeah.
Abort!
Luckily I have my friend Alex on there where he's leading everyone. Because he does it. He's right. I think he's like 15 minutes away. And he's just leading. And one thing he told us to do is to look into your brother's eyes. And when I looked into one of my brother's eyes, his name is Jose, that's when I was able to tap into this love that quieted my mind and slowed down my breathing. Everything was silent. And not only mine, everyone else around became silent. So that was very interesting because from then on, the cold wasn't even a factor.
Yeah, it's not there.
It wasn't there anymore. It was just about, I think, the love that we were able to all tap into, the stillness, that moment. So, just that's where it led me to just accept cold as another type of emotion, man. That's what it is.
So that's actually interesting. I didn't know that you were actually going to say that's where it came from. Yeah. It makes sense though, because I've been, as you know, I obviously go to the gym. I work out crazy times and these different things. And one of the things that I've actually started noticing is I noticed that almost with everything that involves some form of growth, some form of, wrestling your mind and calming your monkey mind, it always comes back to love.
Yeah.
And I found this video of this trainer, and he's helping these guys, and they're working out, and they're going at it, man. Like, they're going at it.
Like
but
warrior style.
Yeah, like they're going at it. Yeah. But they're not going at it in the way how you would normally see in like other videos. Like normally those other videos you see is somebody be like, get that! You gotta get come on, you gotta know this set, CT Fletcher stuff. Like straight up guy, pump you up, motivation. And that works. I'm not gonna lie, that works.
It does,
It's complete opposite with this guy. He's telling them to like, and he's speaking really soft, almost like he's meditating to them. He's like, all right, you're gonna do this set. It's like, pick it up, and you see like they pick it up, and he stands right in front of them, and he's like looking right at them in this moment. He's like, you can do this, put it down. And then you see like they put it on, and then they pick it up, and it's like this calm, serene. It's crazy because I was watching in a gym setting, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, that's crazy. It was like, that looks crazier than the people that I see yelling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, well, it's not that crazy if you think about it, because what it is it's expressing love to this person to tell them like, you got this, you can do this, you can do this. And that's ultimately what everyone wants. When we were kids and there was like something that you couldn't do or something that you weren't sure that you could do, the most reassuring thing usually is when your parent comes over and they say, you got it, you can do it. They don't have to yell, like, it's just this, and it's this moment where you're like, okay, if this person that loves me is telling me that I can do this, and they're kind of pushing me to do this through love, let me do it. Let me do it through love, at least for this person. And it works, and it just works. So it's crazy. Like, I would have never thought that your cold showers actually involve.
They've got my mind to really, I don't know, it's something about, I mean, even so, I remember taking these cold showers when I really first started. Yeah. And I left this pest control company I used to work for called Western. So I went into another company where I had to really put this company on the map, right? They're brand new. But meeting these people, or just going into like any sales, you know, you have to kind of like break the ice. Yeah. But it's always been uncomfortable for me. Even though I'm social, it's always been uncomfortable. I felt like, I don't know, I didn't have enough confidence to represent something. Okay. But when I started doing the cold showers, it played this like crazy psychological, I don't know, this idea now that when I go either into meetings or sales, I picture myself walking into a cold shower. Okay. Because it's an uncomfortable feeling or environment. So as I breathe into it, it's easy and smooth.
So what's interesting about what you said is you said that you didn't have the confidence before. Yeah. And I want to touch on that. Yeah. Because as you know, there are certain words that I don't like. Yeah. And you didn't say one of them, actually. Yeah. Okay. But the way how you said that line, the minute that you said it, I was like, no, that's not right. And I'll tell you why. Right. Because it's not that you didn't have the confidence. It's that you didn't know how to tap into the confidence that you already had. Exactly. That's what it is. It's not that you didn't, like a lot of people always say, oh, I don't have the confidence to do that. Yeah. But it's not that you don't have the confidence. It's just that you're unaware of how to tap into it. Yeah. And with the cold showers, you found a way to tap into what was already there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's really what it is. Yeah. The confidence was always there, which is why you're a social person. Even people that are not social, even people that don't want to be around anyone, people that some people will consider them like a loner or something like that. There's still a confidence in there. It's just, what do they tap into that confidence for? And how do you tap into that confidence? That's more so where a lot of people, I think, have a challenge. It's learning how to tap into that confidence and being able to pull from that, almost like it's fuel.
Yeah, almost like instantaneously.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of work.
It does.
But and awareness too.
A lot of awareness, because you have to be aware of, I need this right now. It's like a Fast and Furious movie. Like it's a moment where you realize, like, in this race, I'm not gonna win if I don't hit this nitrous. So I gotta hit this nitrous. I need a little bit of a boost of confidence right now. How do you tap into it?
And I think it's also like working with the ego. It's like, hey, ego, I need your help.
It is.
I don't need you fully to control and like to take over, but I need that little kick. Like, you got this. Let's go.
Part of the thing with ego is a lot of people hear ego and it's like the selfish thing. Like we've spoken about this before, where they automatically assume that ego means this bad thing. It doesn't mean a bad thing. It's all about how you control and how you use your ego.
You use it.
Exactly, because there's times where you can use it for good. So I mean, you know, it kind of makes sense. So, for as long as I've known you, and this is one of the questions that I'm not sure if I told you I was going to ask you this or not, but for as long as I've known you, and for as long as I think most people have known you, you have this really strong focus on nature, on health, and on community. So, here's the question. And it's a couple parts. So the first part is, where did the passion for nature, health, and community come from? And then the next part of the question is, how do they all tie into each other?
Okay, cool. So where did it come from? Jeez. There's something about nature that has always been very attractive to me. You know?
Okay.
And I'm able to be like myself, or like my true self.
Okay.
Which I always am, but I'm just tapped into it even more. So getting out there, getting that fresh breath of air, or I don't know, there's just something about that nature. So I've always liked to hike. That has always been my thing. Challenging, going up different places, random hikes. That's always been my thing. I don't know if it's tied to my childhood. Could be, maybe. I'm not sure. But with that, it's always given me a sense of clarity whenever I'm out there to figure out what it is I want to do with my life.
Okay.
Now then, as far as health, I've always been about health, and I've gotten to a point in my life where I know what works for my body, but like what foods, right? I've gotten to understand how, all right, if I eat a certain food, a high amount of, say, protein, I would get sleepy and tired.
Yeah.
I used to be a fucking big nap taker. Okay. Right? 30 minutes, an hour, but I don't, not anymore. It's crazy, because now I know what triggered that.
Okay.
A high amount of fats and proteins.
Yeah.
Right? Or if I would get headaches and all that shit, it's because of the carbs. I realized, I played around with it. And I learned this from this one book, Paul Chek. I'm sure you've heard of him. In his book called How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. And that helped me guide. It just gave me a lot of clarity.
Okay.
A lot of clarity, and my decision and my focus has been 10 times more sharp when I consume the right foods. Right? So, just diving into health has really helped me become more aware and listen to my body. So I think that's been my thing. It's just a learning process.
Okay.
It's been a growth process in health. And that's something where I do see myself going into the holistic path, for sure. And then community, man.
That actually ties directly with the holistic path, too.
Community is like, I don't know. Being that I've been focusing on nature, right? That's where I truly I guess, like flourish, and then learning about myself and health and keeping, and health, you know, ties into spiritual, mental, physical. All of that has led me to connections with others that already achieved all of that. And even yourself, it's like, you know, you're all about growth and mindset and just personal, you know, just really evolving yourself. And when I listen to your podcast, I'm like, damn, this guy, like, he hits it because I've gone through that, or I experienced that. And I'm like, okay, so it went from me doing the inner work, right?
Yeah.
The inner work, my inner growth. And with my videos and everything that I post on IG,
yeah,
I've attracted like-minded individuals that do the same, or has been doing the same for a long time. And when I got with them, and then when I saw what they were about, and we started forming this tribe or this community,
yeah,
they were a big help on really helping me grow even more, because they were a reflection. They saw certain things that I didn't see in myself, and they helped me understand that and grow. So, as far as like when it comes to community,
yeah,
it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's so much more importance in that. Right? I don't know if I'm making sense, but
you are.
Yeah.
You are. That's my favorite. Favorite saying, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, and I'll tell you why it makes sense. As you said, I'm very big on growth.
Yeah.
What you just tapped into about health is a form of growth.
Yeah.
All of those things are a form of growth. And with me, I'm really big on this high five of growth. So I'm really big on this whole concept that there's 5 things, and it makes this high five, and all of the 5 things have to be pointing upward in order for you to actually get sustainable growth. That means that you have to grow physically, you have to grow mentally, you have to grow emotionally, you have to grow spiritually, and you have to grow ethically.
Yeah, true.
And if you hit all 5 of those things in any one field that you're looking at, then you will have actual sustainable growth. It won't be something where you're going to fall back. It won't be something where you fall to the wayside. It won't be a backslide. It's going to happen if you hit all 5 in that one area. So when you say health, and when you were talking about making a change physically, and then noticing that it made a change in you emotionally, and then realizing that it made a change in you spiritually, you've already hit 3 of the 5 without even really realizing that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. You're right.
You already hit 3 of the 5, and then the other ones are just ethically, which ethically you're doing because you're doing it in a clean approach. You're doing it naturally. You're not trying to take some kind of hormone or something that's going to cheat the process. You're not doing that.
Yeah, no shortcuts.
Yeah, so you hit that one there, and really you're kind of already touching on 4 of the 5. So again, I think it always comes back to this whole physical, this whole mental, this whole emotional, and the spiritual and the ethical. Like, it always comes back to those 5.
I've never really thought about ethical.
Yeah, I'll tell you ethically why.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
So when I was going through and I was like trying to understand like how to grow, and I'm like reading and I'm studying a lot of these things, and I don't know anyone so far that has said those 5 in that state. But when I was reading a lot about like religion and these different things and a lot of these different religions, a lot of the key principles are the same. And one thing that it always kind of comes back to is, ethically, are you doing what's right? And I think if you want to grow in anything, if you want to grow as a business, you have to ethically do the right thing.
Of course.
Even if it means it may cost you now.
Yeah.
By ethically doing the right thing in that moment, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up with this really strong foundation where you have good ethics. You won't be diverted by something else later on down the line. Like, you know that saying where they say, like, you know, if you stand for, you know the phrase?
No. Go ahead.
Stand for something, fall for nothing. So if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a similar thing. Like, ethically, if you're doing the right thing and if you're putting the right reasoning behind it, then you don't have to worry about, oh, am I
it falling apart.
Yeah, like it won't, because you're doing it for the right reason. But when you're not doing things for the right reason, then it doesn't really work. You know, those people that are like working out, and you said IG, like those people that, I see people on IG all the time, and they're working out and they're doing all these things, and I'm like, but you don't really look like you're actually trying to be healthy. You just look like you're just trying to get really big and brolic, so you can get more views, so you can get more likes, so you could possibly get like a TV show or something later on down the line. Listen, that's fine, I get it, but if ethically you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're not really gonna grow.
Yeah, you're not. You're gonna stay in that you're gonna stay there.
You will stay there, or you will
for validation. Yeah, it's just like staying right there.
Yeah, you have to excel at all 5 in order for the growth to be real.
I agree.
So that's actually interesting that you kind of touched on that without even knowing my whole high five.
I didn't know, dude.
Yeah, it's funny. Like every time I talk to anybody about growth, somehow one way or another, they always end up touching on it without even realizing it.
And when you led into it, you were saying high at 5. I'm like, all right, yeah, I know what he's gonna say. Mental. Wait, and then I'm like, wait, what's the 5th one?
Ethically.
Yeah. And that's what you're about, dude.
I am.
Like, I've known that.
I'm always big about hard work.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it for the wrong reason, or if you have the wrong motives, or you don't know the motives,
it's not gonna last.
You shouldn't do it.
You're gonna be worried too.
You shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not worried, you shouldn't do it, because later on, sooner or later, it's gonna come back. Everything you do in the dark comes to the light.
Oh, of course.
So if you are doing,
shadow,
if you're doing something shady, it's gonna come out.
Oh, I know.
It's gonna come out, and it'll come out at the worst possible moment. But it's just crazy, because I've noticed that in like a lot of different religious faiths, and I noticed that with like a lot of different things, because it's the same thing in Buddhist faith. The whole understanding, the concept of karma, the fact that it does not necessarily have to be something that impacts your life in this lifetime, but it could be a different lifetime, or it could be that something that you're going through now is from something that you've done in a previous lifetime. It's the whole. Again, it goes back to your ethics. So you should be doing things for the right reasons, and then you don't have to worry about that.
I don't want to get into like the whole past life and all that, because that's just gonna go into some other direction. Because I got a whole.
That's all the way over
I got
there.
an experience. I got experiences that had just recently surfaced. I'm like, holy crap! Why is this coming up? But
it's crazy how
that's another time.
It's just crazy how like sometimes that works. But okay, so that's interesting. So, and that's cool, because you kind of gave your definition for nature, health, and community at the same time. You touched on the IG thing with the community and the tribe that you've actually been able to find and form and create and help grow and build. So I do have a question for you, because I know you. And because I know you, I know that every couple of months you like to go on a little social media break.
I do.
Yeah, buddy.
I do.
Yeah, buddy.
So good.
I want you to touch on that, because I think that as technology progresses and people focus more on technology, they kind of lose a little bit of the insight of nature. And I think that the two actually work very well with each other. Sometimes you can see it, it's very apparent, sometimes you can't. Like right now, it's playing very well because we're literally in the middle of nature. However, technology led to this little thing here being built, because that's how they understood, okay, well, we got to put these beams here and this here and that there. And and at the same token, it does not directly interfere with nature. And we're also brought more technology in when we brought a camera and we brought, our phones and these different things. So what has breaking away from social media for the couple of times that you've done it, what has it done? What have you been able to realize in those moments that you've done it? And is it something that you think more people should do, or is it something that you think it takes some getting used to? Like, what's your whole approach to it?
So, the reason why, I'll give you the reason why I took my time off of social media. I kept getting caught up in it. I kept scrolling mindlessly through social media. Right? And especially with what I'm doing now. As far as personal growth and all that, and just really tapping into or sharing experiences and all, putting these videos out. But then I caught myself comparing myself It said others too.
Okay.
Like they're already up there, right? So I'm like, okay. I'm mindlessly scrolling. I'm putting out a lot of content, but then I burn myself out, right? And then I compare myself. I need a break. I took that break. For the first year, it was only, I think it was 21 days or around there. I started tapping into, and I think this is why I went into like, I'm not like a big photographer or anything like that, but I started to take pictures. I started to put videos together, right?
Yeah.
So I started tapping into my creative side.
Okay.
When my attention was fully on, I guess, me or the present moment, and not into social media. So I realized, holy shit, a lot of my creativity or my energy was given too much into social media. It was giving too much into seeing what everyone's doing or what they're about.
Seeing the likes and the posts and the responses.
And when I took that break,
yeah,
I found myself doing a lot more shit, taking more hikes, more pictures, connecting a lot more with my kids, And I have 3 kids that, they need my attention.
Yeah.
Right? And it just, but also, what I want to say is, it helped me understand that social media is powerful as well. Right? And when I say that, it's because I missed the connections that I was having. Because it wasn't only about just mindlessly scrolling. It was about the connections that I formed.
Yeah.
And having those deep, meaningful conversations through the DMs, sharing ideas, people reaching out to me or me reaching out to them, like, hey, how did you get here, this and that. So it's taking that social media fast, and which I recommend for everyone, that if they find themselves spending too much time or time goes by and you're like, holy shit, I just realized that I've been on IG for about 30 or an hour.
Yeah.
I've been on IG for an hour and I could have been doing something. Now I gotta go to bed and now I gotta go to work. Like, then you start beating yourself up like, holy shit, like, fuck. And I found myself doing that. But now I'm very mindful. The second year when I did my social media fast, I think it was about maybe two or 3 months.
Yeah.
And that
was a while.
Yeah.
It was a while because a couple people were like, hey, what happened to this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's all right. He's just off of social media. He's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah. And I didn't let anyone know. I thought I did. And I did. And then I said, okay, no, it's not my time to go. But then I just went. Right?
Yeah, because I remember like you posted like something and I was like, okay, he's going to go on a break. And then like, I saw you like post like a video or something. I was like, oh, I guess he's not.
Yeah.
And then when we actually saw each other, you were like, yeah, I'm on a break now. I was like, oh.
No
I was like,
wonder.
wait. Timeline. I was like, okay. I was like, hey.
It made it so much easier because during that whole time, it was from September through October or mid-August through October.
It was a while. It might have been like September to like beginning of November,
dude,
bro.
I started tapping into I don't know what, right? There was pillows in my house that were chewed up from a dog that I used to have that I had to give up because it was too much for me or for the family at the time, where they needed to be sewed. I grabbed my sewing kit, right, that I bought at the time that Lenny told me to buy. Remember Lenny from Western? He's like, buy the sewing kit and I'll sew your jacket for you, And so he did that one time.
Lenny's Russian, by the way. That's where that accent came from. Bad Russian accent, but okay.
Hey, come on. But yeah, so I started sewing pillows.
Okay.
In my house. So I sewed. I took out the stuffing. I sewed. Boom, boom. I'm like, okay, shit, I can do this. I got this. And then my son, around Halloween, he told us for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks that he wanted to be this anime character, Itachi from Naruto.
Oh, Naruto! Yeah.
Right? So I looked online, couldn't find it.
You made the costume?
I made the costume.
My man, dude. My man, that's pretty dope.
Took me 4 or 5 hours.
That's pretty dope.
And I'm in it. I'm gluing. I bought the fabric, and a good friend of mine, Teresa, she actually came out with me to the store. She helped me pick out the fabrics and the because she's done that before. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, and that costume came out. I didn't put it on social media because I was off. It came out way better than what they had in the fucking store. My son, of course, loved it. And I gotta share that with you. I gotta share you.
I gotta see a picture of that now.
Now that was his. Then I wanted to do mine.
What did you do?
Yeah, it's from an anime called Black Clover.
I know it.
It's dope.
I know it.
Dope. And he's Captain Yami. I love Captain Yami. Yami, like, he's got the white tank top.
Yep.
He's got the half shredded kind of.
You made it too?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see a picture of that one too.
Or what? Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a cloak.
Even the drawing came out dope. The Black Bull symbol came out dope. It's fire. The boots, the belt, the pants. I did it all, man. I did it all. I just got into even my grimoire, the book.
You made one? Like,
yeah, Captain Yami's and everything.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, I'll show you.
I'm intrigued. I have to see that.
So I was able, with that social media fast.
Yeah.
I started realizing that I had so much creativity, so much energy that I used to waste on social media. Now that I was able to tap into.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, man. I feel like if anyone takes about maybe a month, 21 days at least of social media, and really make use of that time that they spent, 30 minutes adds up. 5 minutes out of the day.
It does.
It adds up.
It does.
Of wasted time of scrolling. But if you know how to use it right, you'll get the benefits out of it. But, man, I was just like, wow, I'm creative as fuck.
Well, I think everyone is.
Yeah.
I think everyone's creative in their own ways. Yeah. I know a lot of people.
But sewing? Like.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why I say everyone's creative.
Yeah.
I think everyone's creative in two moments. When they need to be and when they truly want to be. If you really want to be creative, you'll be creative. If you really need to be creative, you will be. You needed to because it wasn't something for you.
Yeah, it was for your son.
It was for your son.
Yeah.
So again, this goes back to what I was saying before. Everything always comes back to love.
Yeah.
You did it because you were like, I want to make sure my son looks dope.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to make sure this looks really nice. You tried to find it first, you couldn't find it, so you did the next thing. You said, no, I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to make it myself. And because you put the effort in and because it was coming from a place of love, ethically, it came out dope. Everything always ties back. Like
the headband.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to borrow that.
Yeah.
Well,
someone told me to sell it on Etsy.
Nah, don't sell it.
I don't want to sell it.
Don't sell it.
That was my greatest creation, and there's so much love in that. I'm not gonna
it's a moment.
Yeah.
It's a moment.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell a moment for anything.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a moment.
Yeah.
No. One of the things that I think makes every human being unique, makes them different, is not only how they react to things, but also the energy that they pull into things. And I'll tell you why I say that. So I used to be a really big believer in this whole, positive energy, negative energy. I used to be a really big believer in all negative thoughts and positive thoughts. However, it reached a point where I realized that it's not even really that. More so what it is you attach positivity or negativity to anything. And then based on what you attach, that's what it will become. It's almost like perspective based. It's the reason why I like to tell people I don't believe that there's such a thing as a bad person. I think there are people that do bad things, and I think that there are people that do good things. I don't even think that there are people that do things with bad intentions. It's perspective based. Because a lot of the people that may do something that we think is bad, and we'll say, why would you do that? Such bad intentions. They have their reason for doing it, where in their mind, it's good for them.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like war. It's like war. In both sides of war, neither side is right and neither side is wrong. Because if you're on this side that's attacking, obviously you're doing it, get them out of here. Exactly. Yeah. If you're on this side that's being attacked, you're going to say, those people are evil.
Yeah.
But if you're on this side attacking, and you're doing it again for your values and for your reasons, these people are going to say those people are evil.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And because I really think that, and I know you have the handle Positive Soul Shaker, what I want to ask you is, what is not only the reasoning behind why you came up with that name, but what I really want to know is I want to know what is your definition of each one of those words that you decided to put them together to create the entity that is your personality online. So what is your definition of positive? What is your definition of soul? And what is your definition of shaker that you put them all three together to create you online?
All right. Well, you've known me for a while. You've known
a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I just met you. I just met you on the other side of the line, right? Yeah.
No, man. I mean, it's like I've always been optimistic.
Okay.
Always. That's always helped me in my work. When I used to be a technician, I always looked at, no matter what the outcome or the situation was, I looked at the brighter side of it, knowing that there was either it was negative, it was bad, but I always looked to that optimistic part.
Okay.
That kept me positive, that kept me going, and it kept me grounded. Because if not, I'd just be, I don't want to do this. That's because of them. It ain't my fault. Always diving into that negative, pessimistic thought. Never been my thing. But I've always been since young, an optimistic kid. Optimistic. So I learned how to tap into that just by staying positive, just by meditating, by looking at things, like you said, through a wider perspective, I guess, not just like narrow. Soul, man. It's just, I don't know.
Like, what is your definition of soul?
Soul.
Yeah. It's a deep one, so.
It's deep.
Yeah,
because,
it's deep.
I mean,
everyone has like their own definition of soul and what the soul is and what the soul does, but what is your definition of soul?
My definition of soul. So when I combine it with positive soul, it's this deep, I don't know, man.
It's a good question.
It's a deep question.
It is. That's why we're here.
Dude. Soul for me, and going into the shaking.
Yeah.
That positivity helps my soul within myself.
Yeah.
Become alive, become present.
Okay.
Right? Because if I'm not aware of what my soul is or who I am,
yeah,
which is basically my soul, not this body, not what I do for a living, not whatever, just what I am and who you are. If I don't tap into that, I'm just going to be, I don't know, just living blindly, living to people's standards and people's belief and all that, instead of knowing, I don't know, man. I feel like it's too deep.
It's not too deep. It's actually not too deep at all. You actually answered it without really realizing that you answered it, because you just said that is what makes you alive.
Yeah.
So for you, soul is life.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Soul is life. Not everyone believes that. Yeah. There's a lot of different beliefs and there's a lot of different thoughts on what the soul is and what the soul does. So when I saw that you had that in your name, I was just really intrigued by it, because I was like, I wonder exactly what does he mean when he says positive soul shaker. I have an idea, but I was like, I wonder what is the deep down nested rooting behind the name, because nobody just picks a name to just pick a name. And I know everything that you do is with intention.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know what is the intention behind that name.
I'll tell you how I came across that. There's this one song, I forget the artist. He's I love his music. He's very soulful. and it's called Soul Shaker. I've put it a couple of times, like in my IG, a couple of times last year, and it's called Soul Shaker, and that really stuck with me. The song, the lyrics, he talks about how this one person, and I believe she may have, it was a girl he was singing about, she may have passed, but any place that she walked into, she was able to stir up good vibration, good energy. And that's what I feel like I do, because I tap into my inner soul, my love, my truth. Or wherever I walk, I'm always optimistic. I'm always positive. I'm always in this light. And I vibrate so high that I get a lot of people coming to me like, you know, how do you stay like that? In the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of what, you know, you went through or whatever it is, how do you like stay grounded? And it's just me tapping into who or what my soul is, and it's just, it's basically this just stillness, this love. That's what it is. That's what my soul is. I think that's my definition of soul. Is who I am, like this. And then with that positivity, it just fucking gets me up, gets me moving, gets me shaking, and I've attached positive because that's just who I am, to the soul shaking.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, you know?
That's pretty dope. I like the fact that it tied back to music too, because you know me, I'm a mellophile. Everything on me is music.
Yeah.
I got music tatted all over me. The one thing that I've been struggling with, excuse me, thank you. The one thing that I've been struggling with, and it's funny, and I don't know if this has happened to you or not, but the more that I actually meditate and the deeper that I get into my meditation, the more that I dislike the music that I actually listen to. Because and it's really weird, and I remember I said this to Jen, I was like, I'm kind of torn. And she's like, wow. I was like, because I love music, and I love listening to music, and I love this music, and I've always loved music. But the deeper that I get into like meditation, and the deeper I get into reflection, and the deeper that I start listening and noticing things, when I come out of it and I play my music, it sounds like noise. Like there was a day where I couldn't play any of my music for like 30, 40, 50 minutes. And I play music all day long. Like I listen to music all the time.
Would you say it's a type of music?
No.
It's just like anything.
It was just any music.
Just sound.
It just sound like, not sound, music. It just sounded like noise. To the point where the only thing that I could listen to for that 30 to 40 minutes was, and this is gonna sound hilarious, was Buddhist meditation music.
Yeah.
Like that's all I could listen to, because I was like, okay,
sense.
I was like, this doesn't sound like noise,
sense.
because I guess again it goes back to the ethics thing. Like ethically, the music I was listening to, people's motives behind the songs that they were putting out there, I guess I had reached a point where when it was hitting my soul,
it didn't resonate.
It wasn't resonating, and my soul was like, no! Boom, like pushing it back out. Like, no, we don't want to hear this. Boom, and it's like pushing it back out.
It's happened to me.
So I was like, man, I was like, I was a little torn, because I was like, man, like, I really love music, like why is this happening? And then in that moment of like having that reflection and like meditating some more and just saying like, well, all right, I guess I'm gonna stop liking music.
But you can't stop liking music.
Yeah, you can't. But I was like, okay, I guess this is what's gonna happen, and I just embraced it. And then I started to like my music more again, because now when I started to hear it, I wasn't really hearing the words. I was more so hearing like the intentions behind like the song.
You've always been about that.
Yeah, I'm
whenever I sung something or said something, but do you know what that meant?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck Jay, no, I don't know.
Yeah,
like I never looked at it that deep.
Cause it's just crazy because music, and this is the whole reason why I bring it up, because music is a way of not only speaking to someone's soul and not only sharing your soul, but it's also a way of connecting with people. It's kind of like sports. Like people can connect with sports because it's like you're all united for this common goal, even though you're all strangers. It's an amazing thing if you've been in like an arena or you've been in like a stadium or something, and you're part of the home team that's down, and everyone is down, and somebody's like, come on guys, we can do this, and then like everybody's slowly getting pumped back up, and then they win, and it's like you're high-fiving complete strangers because of this connection that you have. Music does the same thing. The only difference is with music, it does it without even having to say anything. It's just like this really low vibration that just kind of connects with people's souls, which is why I think a lot of people, they enjoy going out to concerts, and they enjoy going out to EDM raves, and they enjoy, you know, the mosh pits, and they enjoy rock concerts.
I don't
know
about mosh pits, but
it all depends on what you like, because again, it's a connection. So you're all connected in that moment. You know, maybe everyone's connecting over Marilyn Manson, maybe everyone's connecting over Maxwell. It could be, you know, it all depends on what you want to connect with. So that's why there's like so many different forms of music, lounge music, those different things. So when you say Positive Soul Shaker, and when I think of Positive Soul Shaker, the first thing that I think of is, I think of not even optimism, but I think of bright, because when I think of positivity, I always think of something bright. So it's like bright soul connection that you're shaking up inside of people. So it's almost like you're finding this bright connection that you can find in someone else, and then right when you found it, and they're like, oh, this guy is cool. It's like you take this moment, you're like, I'm like gonna shake that up in you, kind of, you know, charge you up a little bit more. So
love that,
yeah. So I was curious to see like what is like, you know, your whole thing behind it, like what is it? I'm just one of those curious people. I like to know.
I know that.
Yeah, I like to know.
You're my brain, like.
You know, a lot of people can tell me, like, it's like you're in my brain.
I'm trying to remember the one lyric. It was by Kendrick Lamar, and you were like, "But do you know what that means?" Damn.
Ooh, Kendrick Lamar's got a lot of lyrics.
Yeah.
That say that.
It was It was a Be Humble track, I believe. I'm trying to remember the verse.
There's a lot of verses in there. There's a lot of verses. There's a lot of lines. Like
I remember because I'm always gonna tie it back to you.
That's pretty cool. Again, connection.
It's this one line. Damn. It said something about. I'll have to get back to you.
It's all right. You can get back to me. I'm curious to know what the line is now too.
I'll have to get back to you.
It's funny because there's like a bunch of lines that are like popping in my head, but not even from like Kendrick. There's just like a bunch of like lines that like are in my head, and I always think about it.
This is gonna so bother me. Okay.
Well, don't dwell in it too much. In the moment, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for actually taking this moment to not only do the podcast and to not only let me kind of pick your mind a little bit and share this experience in the middle of nature, beautiful setting. But I also wanted to thank you for, you kind of opened the door that a lot of people don't see open here very often. And what I mean by that is, yes, there are a lot of people that are out and, you know, they do photography and they do the social media and they want to be like an influencer and all those different things. But I don't think a lot of people have pure ethics behind it. Especially in this region of the country, in the Northeast, there's a lot of people that do a lot of things for money motives. And it's pretty cool to actually see someone do it for the complete opposite reason. And it's cool because you're seeing it and you see as it happens, and it's like, man, like, what's gonna happen when this all kind of comes together? Because that's another one of my things. It's like when it all kind of comes together and like it starts hitting on like all these different levels, and the success and everything just kind of all keys in, and you're like, man, like, I remember that guy. I remember him. He was making those goofy videos on Instagram. But it's just one of those things of being pure to yourself and embracing that and sharing that with others. So I just want to thank you for actually doing that. Doing that on social media, doing that here today on the podcast. And just keep doing it, man.
Dude, I want to thank you for having me here.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for, dude, all your insight on personal growth, your podcast. I mean, it's helped me. And I've always reached out to you like, damn, Jay, you know, this one podcast on perception or on was it hard work or work hard?
That's one of my favorite ones too.
Dude, it's like I don't know, man. The stuff that you're putting out, the connections that you're making, and the work that you're actually doing that I want to do, because I'll tell you one thing. I do put out all these videos. I share my experience and all that. But it takes a lot of me shutting off my like ego or brushing away the fear.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, when people like this, when people resonate with this, I'm not gonna put it out. But then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Because I watch you and you're like, dude, I remember when you started and you just went with it.
You know what it is? It's not even pushing away the fear, it's embracing the fear.
Yeah.
It's just embracing it, because I always come back to this thing that Will Smith said where he said God puts the best things in life on the other side of fear.
Yes.
So it's like, you know what?
That.
I might as well embrace it.
Yeah.
And like one of my episodes that I just said, there's always going to be somebody out there that is not going to like what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they will talk smack about you to your face, behind your back, whatever. There's always going to be that person out there. And for every one of those people, there's also somebody out there that's going to like what you're doing. And they're going to be able to get a message from it.
And that's what I focus on.
Those are the people that you do it for. You do it for those people. And at the same time, you do it for yourself. Because it's, again, your journey. True. And the journey's not going to stop. True. So why not share the journey with somebody else? And it might help them get through something that they're going through. Who knows? Might be someone that's our age. Might be someone that's older than us. Might be a kid somewhere in the middle of Kansas that stumbles on one of our videos and he's like, hey man, those guys are doing it. I want to do that too. So you never know. You never know who you're going to impact. It's the great thing about the internet.
Well, I just want to say that you have impacted me.
Well,
and even being here, this is, I'm not even going to say anything, but this has definitely given me the courage to do something that I want to do.
Nice. Well, there you got it, folks. Another great episode. Came out great. Check out the podcast. If you haven't already, check out my man Mike. I'm going to put his handles in the description. It's going to be on the screen. If you're listening to this, then it's going to be in the description of the episode. If you're watching this, which is even better, then you're going to see it on your screen. And that's that. We out.
All right, brother.
This was good.
Yeah. Yeah.